Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to take a look at whatever the message or energy flow is for the 22nd. All right, what's the most important message to come out? We start with boundaries. Okay, so this could be a message of somebody who's needed to put up a certain amount of boundary for themselves. This could be a message of possibly a divine feminine. Now, she's partly made of the ivy, like she's part camouflaged. And, it's weird because she's obviously hiding. So let's explore that because there's boundaries and then there's hiding and watching somebody else. And that could be breaking their boundaries. We think, oh, well, she's on this side of the fence. So she must be the one who needed to put up a boundary, but she's the one also peering over it. We've got the Seven of Swords. So somebody's not being honest about things. Now, maybe this is why she's hiding herself away because she's like, I don't know that I trust them. I can't tell if they're wearing a mask. But then she's over here in camouflage. So we've got people that are uneasy with each other. There's not trust on either side. Why? Why is there so much lack of trust? Two of Cups. Okay, so this could be two people kind of freaking out a little bit because there's big emotion and it's like, no, this can't be real. This can't be real. They got to be playing with me. There's no way that this can be such a powerful bond. There's no way. I mean, stuff like this doesn't happen except in the movies, right? So this feels like two people are kind of freaking out because it is a really important bond. Oh gosh, they could really damage this then. Knight of Cups, the divine says, nah, it won't get damaged. This will be just fine. They're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to find a comfort zone around this. They're going to have to quit freaking out, but they'll be all right. They can do this. They'll be just fine. Page of Pentacles. They just got to go slow. What do you do in anything in life if it's new? And let's say you learn how to drive and the first car that you really get in as soon as you get your license is like a sports car. You can feel the power in it. Well, you need to learn how to handle that kind of power. You don't just start jetting off and be like, okay, I think I'll drive 120. No. You have a big learning curve and you need to still gain your confidence, your comfort. You need to become a better driver. There's a lot of things that you've got to learn so that you do things well. And, you just go one step at a time. If you're in a new environment, if you're learning a new skill, if you're at a new job, you gotta crawl before you can walk, before you can run. It's going to be unfamiliar. It's going to be wobbly, but you can get the hang of this. And I feel like one little baby step at a time, and then it won't be overwhelming. But at this first sight or this first glance or this first moment where two people recognize, oh my God, this is somebody I have an extreme, attraction for. I have an extreme emotional bond to. And then the very next thought is, no, this is crazy. And it's almost just because it's like a power surge. I feel like two people who already know that they care about each other, and they might both be spying on each other and lying about it, frankly, since we can't see his head, and then she's clearly hiding, and they're both in a space of kind of not telling the truth a little bit. I think she's definitely spying on him, and he's over here not showing his face, but saying, I'm not wearing any masks. But he's not showing his face either. So let me just ask, what is his lie? I mean, I guess I shouldn't say his. It's just the little face mask, like the Groucho Marx face mask thing made me think him. He's lying about the fact that I think he's thinking about taking a leap of faith toward her, or even traveling to see her, or doing something with her in mind. And he's not being honest about that. He's not saying a word of it, not breathing a word of it. What are you lying about, feminine? Where's your lie? Emperor sideways. She's trying to act like, she's not sure about this. She's not sure about him. He's not her emperor. He's just a guy. He seems to be kind of cool, but I'm sure that I'm not that drawn. I mean, he seems great, but what do I know? He's just a person. She's trying to downplay how important he is. He's trying to downplay the fact that he's not saying a word of the fact that he's intending to take this big leap toward her. No wonder the divine says this will be just fine. These two are going to be just fine. Divine, you want to talk to us a little bit more about this? How are you helping these two out? With a little bit more of the divine, it's like, we're going to help them find the bridge that leads to each other. They will be able, this is the Hierophant, this is Taurus energy. I know the bridge is blocked right now by the Pope. I guess that's Pope Leo standing here. I'm sorry, that just comes to mind because obviously, you know, I personally am not Catholic, although I have been to Rome and have actually, you know, gone into the audience that the Pope gives on Wednesday mornings there at St. Peter's. And so it was wonderful. So fun. Felt like a huge, wonderful party. There was people who pilgrimaged from different locations around the world that like brought musical instruments. And when they were introduced, you know, and acknowledged that they were in the audience, you know, there was music and it was really fun. It was wonderful. I'm a big believer in like experiencing other people's cultures and beliefs and enjoying it and respecting it, even if I personally don't necessarily subscribe to it. But this, I don't know, maybe that's just a side note here. There is something maybe celebratory to talk about with this. Maybe one of the two of them is Catholic. Doesn't have to be. It's just those side notes here. But there is this wonderful, what I love about this is it says that there's not going to be any blockage after all. In fact, it's more like a surprise. Like these two are going to have an easier time finding each other because the angels, the divine, however we want to look at this, is helping them get to the bridge that they will more easily access one another. They'll more easily be able to be in each other's lives. Partly that bridge, though, is one's own connection to one's higher self. It doesn't have to be religious context on that, but more just like, you know, our connection to our intuition, maybe is the way I would look at that. But we have characters that the divine is helping these two find one another or expedite coming into each other's worlds. But it's not like it's hidden or like they have to follow a certain, you know, religious belief system or anything to have this work. It's more that it's going to be like, surprise, you know, you made it. You listen to your intuition. We have a 3 of Pentacles. We have an 8 of Wands. We keep seeing him traveling. And we keep seeing like they will be able to collaborate. There's something about him entering into her world. What is the advice to her? Since he is the one going to be taking, I think, the bigger step to enter into her world, what is the message for him here? For her, 9 of Cups. You know what? This says, remember, feminine, he wouldn't bother to come towards you unless this was his delight, his pleasure to come to see you, to step into your world. The reason he's going to go out of his way to see you is because he wants to. So keeping that in mind, you are his destination. And when he comes towards you, bear that in mind. Ooh, we have the Devil. She might be, remember, she's the one who's trying to like hide a little bit. She's the one insisting this probably isn't legit. She's the one who worries that, you know, I don't know that this is really much of anything. I mean, he seems like an emperor, but he's probably not my emperor. And, you know, he seems really nice, but I shouldn't think too much about him. And I should probably even, you know, stay clear of him, even though I can't help but still look at him. You know, he seems so nice, but you know, I'm sure he wouldn't be interested in me. She keeps saying that or doing that. That's her toxicity. And she's going to have to watch that. And remember, him taking an action towards you, reaching out to you, or, you know, going out of his way to see you, communicate to you, be around you, that's because he wants to. So take that for what it is and don't let your own fears get in the way and have you instantly dismiss the fact that he's about to do something to show you that you are someone he wants to be around. That's important. Okay, what's the advice to him right now? Ace of Wands, always advocate for what you truly want. go after the person, the situation, pursue what you truly want. Okay, those cards were crazy. We've got King of Wands, we've got 10 of Swords, and we've got 4 of Cups, and they all ended up kind of in this sideways downhill slope. So the rest of the advice for him is, when there's painful endings, don't linger. Specifically for him, if he has had a painful ending, don't linger there. Turning over the next chapter of his life, and pursuing what he genuinely wants is going to be better than him staying in, an ended situation where it's like, oh, but it really sucked. It was painful. I almost feel like he maybe got betrayed by somebody who might have a regret about betraying him, but he's lost interest. He may even have a hard-hearted energy toward that person and some bitterness. And it says, don't stew in that. Immediately replace the bitterness with something good that you want and pursue the thing that you truly want, which in this case we know is her. What do you like about her? I'm just curious. What is it that draws you to her? Queen of Wands, and we've got this 8 of Pentacles. There is something about her. Obviously, I think she's very attractive, but there's also something a little mysterious about her, a little bit self-possessed about her. And at the same time, he could see, like, it's almost like she makes him feel better, want to work on himself, want to be better. He feels like he could work well with her. That's a beautiful reason to be attracted to somebody. What attracts you to him? We already saw that Emperor sideways. Emperor upright. She knows he's an emperor. She does know that. And I think she already wishes that he was her emperor. Well, you two, it looks like you're in luck because you both feel the same way about each other. Remember, there are 2 of Cups. This is like burdens are pretty much being lifted, and we've got the energy of a 2 of Cups coming together fairly swiftly. How swiftly? Can I just see that? 10 of Wands. We're almost there. You notice how we've got the heart written or painted rather right on the wall, and it's like as soon as somebody passes that point, it's like that's time for love. We're about ready to lay down some burdens. What's the final component of laying down burdens? There we go. It boils down to when he takes this leap, when he takes the fool's jump and moves toward her. This is happening, I think, very soon. Maybe it's around June 10th. I don't know. But we've got a couple 10s here. And then we've got the 0. So I can't help it. Like, it keeps saying 10s to me. I feel like this storyline is just for the 2 of them to like mentally prepare for the fact that when 2 people are ready to gravitate toward each other, they're going to. And although, on the 22nd, there may be some acknowledgement that they're both kind of saying, it probably won't ever happen. It probably won't ever happen. The exact reverse is true. Sometimes the more we say, oh, I know that this is probably not legit. This is silly for me to think about. And then we go, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like, that's how this storyline comes across. It's probably not legit. This probably isn't going to happen. There probably isn't anything here, but I'm going to do it anyway. That'll be like the sudden like flip around and they just go for it. That's what we see happening in this story. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I really appreciate you. Bye.